Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, we're off for more of Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage / Gateway to Glimmer, Reignited. Welcome to the bonus episode, where we're going to be grabbing the last of the skill points that we have not gotten yet, because we, in the last episode, after beating Ripto, got the Infinite Superflame from Dragon Shores. And by completing Dragon Shores, we got access to the cutscene viewer, but that's not actually that important. The more important thing is that we have Infinite Superflame. And there's actually something that's actually kind of behind that we'll get into in just a moment. For now though, yes, we're doing the skill points that we've missed, as well as any of the Reignited exclusive trophy / achievements. And of course, you know, being on the PS4, we have an exclusive Platinum, which is just getting all the rest of them. But yes, we still need to actually get these achievements, because these are Reignited exclusive. Of course, most of them, if not all of them, can be gotten in normal gameplay by getting 100%, for the most part. But just like in Spyro 1, some of them are a lot easier on a second playthrough, just like with the, in this case, the skill points, because, you know, skill points weren't actually originally in Spyro 1 to begin with. The Spyro 2 introduced the skill points to the series, and yes, we're actually missing a couple, which are, well, just Gulp's Overlook and Ripto's Arena. But before we do anything related to any of that, we need to get into something that is exclusive to Spyro 2 and only Spyro 2. As far as I'm aware, I don't think any other Spyro game has done this. New Game Plus. Now, this is something I've never actually done on the original PS1 release, but it does work in exactly the same way. When you make a save file of a Spyro game on a PS1 memory card, and this includes the place on the PS3 as well, but with a virtual memory card, either from a download or from an actual PS1 disc, one save block of Spyro 2, Spyro 1 and Spyro 3, but mostly Spyro 2, because that's what we're covering right now, one save block of Spyro equals 3 saves, so you get 3 saves per memory card, and that is it. The thing about Spyro 2 is that New Game Plus has basically something to do with the Permanent Superflame. On your file that you have unlocked the Permanent Superflame, once it's booted up, what you have to do is, you know, make sure that the Superflame on your 100% file is active, pause, and quit the game. And then we want to go back to our save file. Well, in this case, obviously, we only have 3 slots, but you know, just like a memory card, this is all 3 slots, and we have a file for each one in each individual slot. So I will actually have to go into an empty file for this. But if I click Ripto's Rage, and I skip all the cutscenes to get to, you know, gameplay in Glimmer, as soon as the game starts up, press circle. Or your flame button, if you're on the Xbox One version. I forget what the button equivalent is. We still have the Super Flame! Yeah! We're on a new game. We haven't got anywhere near even a percentage, and yet we have the Super Flame. This is easy mode. This is New Game Plus. If you've beaten the game 100% already, you keep the Permanent Super Flame on a new game without even, you know, ever even getting close to the end. Just use it right out of the gate from the beginning. The problem is, this has a bit of a drawback, especially on the Reignited Trilogy, because on the PS1 version, you just have to, you know, get rid of your original Spyro 2 save, and then you can just play the game again. But because all 3 games are tied into a single save, as in this case, Spyro 1, 2, and 3 all share a save slot, I would have to lose all the progress on those 2 games as well, in order to lose the Super Flame on all my other files when I want to play Spyro 2. However, just like Spyro 1 that we haven't actually covered yet, because we're only going to cover the single one for this particular video because it's exclusive to this game only, there is a code, a cheat code, a built-in cheat code, to get rid of the Super Flame if you don't want to do it. But I'm obviously not too sure what the Xbox One equivalent is, so I've actually written it down. I've got it on my phone right here. So I'll read it out for, and it will be on screen as well. For Xbox One users of the Reignited version, it's left, right, RB, well, that's right bumper, X. For PS4, obviously that's left, right, R1, 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 R1 square. So it's actually quite simple. But this code basically allows you to toggle the Super Flame on and off, even if you haven't beaten the game before and you're not using a New Game Plus file. So, if you just want the Super Flame, that's the code. If you don't want to beat the game and you want to start off with it, there you go. but this is how you're supposed to start off with it legitimately, because that's how it was handled in the original PS1 release, and they've pretty much mimicked it for the Reignited version. So we'll do a left, right, R1, 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 R1 square. We get a little ding, and it should be gone. Yep, it's gone. We now have normal flame again, without getting rid of our file. So if we quit game right now and go back into our save slots, I will get my file back up so that that's actually gone, because I don't want that there really. Oh no, I can actually delete the slot. Perfect. Never mind. But yeah, if we actually go back into our file again, which obviously I'll cut out this loading screen, the deactivation actually carries over. So when you pass through that gate, that is a toggle on. Obviously, by typing in the code, you will toggle it off. But if we actually input the code again and get the little ding again, we have it back on again. Passing through the gate of the Infinite Superflame when you already have the Infinite Superflame does not turn it off. It's always on and there's no toggle off. So you have to use a cheat code in order to toggle it on and off. And there is no option in the options menu in order to actually do it yourself. You have to use a cheat code in order to do it in both the original and the Reignited version if you want to go back to the normal flame without deleting your save and doing the whole game again. Obviously, the whole point is to, you know, play the game again with the Super Flame so you have an easier time and just get the skill points a lot quicker because, you know, it just stops you from doing a few things back and forward. It takes a little bit of challenge out, but, you know, that's what New Game Plus is most of the time. It's just to have a good time. But it's there if you want to go back to your original Super Flame without deleting your original save. So yeah, that's just something that I wanted to cover before we actually, you know, got into the real meat of things because, you know, we actually have this. But we are actually not done yet. Yes, we have gone all the way back to 32-bit. We are on the PS1 original Spyro 2 Gateway to Glimmer. Yes, Gateway to Glimmer, not Ripto's Rage, because I live in the UK. This is a PAL copy. We are on the original because there are two exclusive cheat codes that do not work, or do not currently have a known counterpart, in the Reignited Trilogy version of Spyro 2. The reason being is because that if we pause in the menu, which looks completely different by the way, if I try to press circle right now, I can't actually get out of the menu right now. That's because some cheat codes actually use the circle button, and some of them are obviously changed, but obviously the ones that are available in Spyro 1, 2, and 3 are actually available in the Reignited Trilogy, but as I said, I'm not going to cover those until later on. We're only going to be covering the two exclusive ones that are only exclusive to the PS1 original, so yeah, that's what we're doing. So we're in the menu right now. I'm just going to go up and down and just make sure it's all refresh and whatnot. Circle, 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 square. If we were on the Reignited version, the remake, just tapping circle once would get us out of the menu, so we wouldn't be able to do this cheat code. So it obviously doesn't work in the remake. But on the original, circle, 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 square, you heard the ding. That pretty much gives us all the abilities. Like I said, we don't actually see the benefit from that, so that is actually kind of a problem. But here's something that we can talk about. Sparks is fully healed right now. He's at full health. That's pretty cool. We've got the usual, you know, 1, 2, 3 hits, and once the 3 hits are gone, he goes blue, then he goes green, and he is gone, and then we die. There's actually another code. If we pause, the code is square up, square down, square left, square right, circle. So let's type that in. We get a bling. And if Sparks wants to stop flying around, he still looks the same. So let's go and kill a being here, kill some fodder, and let him eat. And if you look closely, from what we were looking at before, Sparks now has a star on him. Yeah, he has like a star-shaped glow on him. Sparks has an additional hit point. How can I prove this? Well, I think there's only one thing that we actually need to do, even though obviously we've got to do it again later on for, you know, the skill point, considering that this is actually a 100% file on the PS1, and I already have them all. We got to do it for the actual project. But for now, I'm going to go face Ripto again, and I'm just going to let him hit me. Alright, so we are in the battle right now, and we still have Sparks with that star-like glow on him. Remember, he used to have just a normal circular glow, now it's a star. Yep. Thanks, Hunter, for chucking that on me. You couldn't have done that before. I just took a hit. And Sparks is still yellow, but notice now that he hasn't got the starlight glow on him. Yes, so with that code, for as long as you have the system powered on, Sparks is able to go one level beyond the maximum health, allowing you to take 4 hits before he disappears instead of 3. Now he is blue. So that is actually pretty cool. So I'm just going to exit level so we can go back to the Winter Tundra. But yeah, that doesn't actually have a equivalent code, for Spyro 2 at least, in the Reignited Trilogy, in the remake version. So that's a little bit of a problem. Codes are still being found for the Reignited Trilogy. Creators keep dropping hints for certain codes, but they're not actually finding any that much at the moment. Of course, if any do get found, I'll probably leave it up for a good while before I actually come back and cover them all. But for codes that actually work throughout the entire trilogy in the originals, have actually been implemented in the Reignited version as well. So when we're talking about the trilogy as a whole, I will have a bonus episode covering that, along with, you know, the themes and all that. But yeah, that is literally all that I had to show off on the original. Back to the remake. First of all, let's go back to the guidebook and let's check out the skill points that we've got to do. These are the built-in stuff of the main game, so we will be covering these first. However, there are some achievements that are tied to this, so we'll check those out as well. So first of all, we got Gulp's Overlook, Perfect, and Hit Ripto. A lot easier for both of those, in fact easier for Ripto's Arena as well, Perfect, with the Permanent Superflame. Obviously you can do it in normal gameplay, it's just a lot easier to do it with the Permanent Superflame, and that's how people mostly do it, and it gives us a reason to actually use it. So yeah, I want to go into that. Wrong button, but you know what, I'm in here. I might as well talk about this as well. This is the pre-order exclusive menu theme for the PS4 version of Spyro Reignited. This one's obviously based off of Idle Springs, which is the Spyro 2 equivalent. I've already shown the Spyro 3 versions before. Of course, I'll show them, if I haven't, I'll show them all again in a separate video. It's just that I kind of just accidentally pressed that button. But I thought I'll just show that off quickly because I accidentally pressed the button. I meant to hold it. But yeah, we've also got Don't Touch Starve and Skittlers Badlands, which I should have got during normal gameplay, but I scrubbed. And you have to leave the level in order to actually get that, so I probably would have had to go through the level first and then, you know, go through again to get the other stuff if I really wanted to get that without actually getting burned. Unlike other missions like, I forget which one it was, Don't Touch the Hazardous Water in Shady Oasis, where you didn't actually have to leave in order for it to count. So that's just an example. But of course, we've also got, you know, Conservationalist 2, which, you know, complete Gulp's Overlook without harming fodder. So if we don't take any damage, fodder won't even spawn. And as I've said before during the battle, if, you know, you leave fodder, Gulp can actually eat it and recover his health, so that's not fun. And with the Permanent Superflame, defeating the Ox without taking a hit should be fine because the Superflame should have the same effect as the bombs themselves. And if not, we could just stand in front and just continuously snipe our Superflames. Well, we would be able to do that if we didn't keep moving because we're on ice, so, And that's not momentum-based physics, that's how it was in the original, so, That'll be something that we'll have to work with as well. But that's pretty much what we've got to be working on with, so we'll do with the trophies later on because they're Reignited exclusive. For now, we want to get on with the trophies. So we need to go take out Gulp's Overlook first. So we're going to be using which we've been using throughout the Let's Play, a Reignited exclusive ability. It was originally exclusive to Spyro 3, and it was an unlockable, but for Spyro 1 and Spyro 2 as a quality of life option, and unlocked from the beginning for Spyro 3 as well. Anywhere in the guidebook, or in the atlas, or the, you know, just the world selection menu, whatever, you can actually travel to any world or level that you want to by just a tap of a button instead of going all the way through different gates and stuff and hub worlds in order to actually reach the level if you were in there before already. So, we're going to go to Gulp's Outlook, and we're going to hop in and just flame his face. I was going to say flame his bottom, but he's going to be facing us. Flame him! Actually, I don't want to be doing that. What am I doing? I need to flame Ripto. Where is he? And he hit me anyway, but that's great. I need to hit Ripto at least, so that's fair enough. But I took a hit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill myself just to get the perfect back. I was going to just flame him, but then I realised I needed to flame Ripto as well, and I tried to do it without getting hit, and I got hit. So we'll just kill ourselves to restart the battle, and then we're just going to flame. Because that resets the battle. Yeah, you can pound the ground, mate, but I'm going to keep on flaming. What if I do that? Nope, he has to actually recover. But he can't actually move, we're just stun locking him here. And yeah, his pounds actually do affect us in mid-air, which is kind of annoying. One more flame, and skill point acquired, we perfected it. There's conservationalist, I keep saying conversationalist, that's not right. Gulp is defeated, and we've also hit Ripto during the battle, that's 2 skill points immediately, and we didn't even need a move for defeating Gulp. Yeah, the Super Flame made him a massive pushover instead of a challenging boss. As I said, it's New Game Plus, it's easy mode. On to Ripto. I guess if you were having trouble with the skill point of certain things as well, such as like, you know, the hockey game in Colossus, the Super Flame makes that super easy as well, and that's, you know, to make the skill point a lot easier. But it's actually a lot easier in the Reignited version, so you don't need to see the Super Flame for that, but I just thought I would chuck that out there. The Super Flame pretty much breaks quite a lot of stuff in this game. Because, you know, as it's infinite and you're able to use it in places you're not supposed to, that's pretty cool. By the way, we don't even need to move again. Well, if we do any action, he will start moving, but we can just keep pummeling him with Super Flame, and as long as we do it without getting hit, you know, we'll get our skill point. But obviously that means for the final phase, that could still be a bit of a problem. He's a bigger target for phase 2, so that'll be pips easy, but the final phase we could still get hit, and as we know, I was pretty much dodging as crazy as possible, trying to not get hit. But the thing about this is that I'm already doing the final boss again right now, which means I'm going to be skipping the credits. I mean, I was going to do that anyway with a tap of this triangle button for PS4. Of course, I keep saying that I'm playing on PS4, so that's a thing. But the thing is, I would have left the final boss for last, like I did for Spyro 1. But, as I said before in Spyro 1, both the skill points and the trophies were Reignited exclusives, while in this case, the skill points are the Insomniac originals. And how did he hit me like that? He didn't actually do damage to me, but he didn't technically hit me either. So that was a thing. But yeah, as the skill points are actually part of the original Spyro 2, I feel like I want to get the achievements out of the way before I focus on the skill points before I focus on the achievements. And that's point blank. That's not cool. I don't like that. So right now I'm trying to like keep on side swiping so I just get the pot shots off so I don't risk getting hit. The problem is it's actually a lot harder in the Reignited version to hit him because, as I've said many a time, with the Super Flame itself, well, for the Spyro 2 Super Flame anyway, the shots do move faster, but they're also a lot smaller, and because of the redesigned models, the targets may also be smaller, which in Ripto's case, I think you can only hit the main body of the thing and not just the wings. So it's taken me a lot longer than I normally do to hit this guy, and his shots have a slight bit more homing to them, even though they still don't home in as much. So I'm just trying to play it safe. So he's going to come back around this way. Yep, and there is an invisible wall, so he does cheat. He was being a sneaky bastard during our proper final battle. I mean, this phase is still tough because nothing's really changed here. We have Super Flame for this battle anyway, regardless if we actually had the Permanent Superflame or not. So this part of the fight's just technically unchanged. And he's gone around on the outside again, hasn't he? Yeah, he's just right in the outside, so I just gotta like head him off and just snipe him. Can I hit him? One more time? Nope, probably not. Whoa, okay! He tried to dive bomb me, but I got him. Skill point acquired. Final boss done. Didn't have a problem with, unlike what we did with Nasty Nork. For whatever reason, it didn't count, even though I died, so it reset the entire level. It didn't count. But with all of the skill points collected, for the Reignited version anyway, for the originals, you would unlock a epilogue in the guidebook. In this case, we don't get the epilogue because it was supposed to be like a teaser for the third game, but there was no third. The teaser didn't exactly amount to the third game. It was more like just like an epilogue for all the characters in the world and stuff. In this case, we get, just like in Spyro 1 Reignited, an art gallery to look at, which if you're on the main file screen of the Reignited Trilogy, you could look at all of the 3 games galleries merged into one. So we will have a look at that right now, since we do have all the skill points done. Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. Yes, the first image is pretty much a reignited recreation of the Ripto's Rage box art. And I'm going to, once again, as I've talked about during Skelos Badlands, I'm going to overlay the fan-made Reignited design of a Gateway to Glimmer version of the title screen, because there is no official Gateway to Glimmer Reignited box art. That's the closest that I've ever seen, and that's the one I would like to promote, because I like it, and it's pretty well made, and it's pretty on point. Similar to this one. So, I thought I'd show that. In fact, hell, I might even just show them both right next to each other, because why not? I mean, it's not part of the art gallery, but I feel like it just needs a bit of a special mention because it's just so well done. We got a bit of concept art with Hunter, and once again, every single one of these images will have the Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage logo in the corner, which I think is the Reignited remade version, so that's cool. Yeah, I still don't know about Hunter's design. Looks a bit Hero's Tailish with a bit of a blocky design. I mean, the artwork's a little bit more stylized, but still. Moneybags, however, looks snobby as heck. That monocle, though. And the detail on its shoes, actually. You can actually see the sole, apart from the actual shoe itself. And the Professor. Those puffing platypus, that's what they're called. So they are basically pufferfish, but they are platypuses. These are the enemies from Mystic Marsh, which were giving me a bit of trouble. Except for the monkeys. They're not showing the monkeys here. They've got, like, the snail elephants, the snail rhinos, the kangaroos. We've got the Yeti from Colossus, not Idle Springs. I keep getting them mixed up for some reason. They have the same inhabitants. They're a pair. Billy Goat and the Hairy Goats, which, the Yaks, excuse me, which, as I said before, why do they not have 2 hits worth of health like the sheepdogs in Toasty the Scarecrow in the Artisan's World? Breeze Builder, Falcon, Chicken, Parrot. So they're the Breeze Builders, not the Bridge Builders. I just said Breeze Builder. Blech. Words. I'm slowing my speech. It's the time of the day again on the Scatman. TNT look very feathery. Makes sense. We got the spectators from Ocean Speedway. Earthshapers, Beetree, and the Killer Bush. They're all from Fracture Hills. Cresta, the Satyr, and Beppo the Fawn. So they've all got different designs from all the both Fractured Hills and Magma Cone. Bo Peak, Fire Grub, Bucket, Corporeal Slugs, not Corporeal. Sergeant Tub and Colonel Blubland Blubbers. So all the land blubbers from both of the Breeze Builder levels, Zephyr and Breeze Harbour. Juliet and Romeo, it's supposed to be the other way around, and I don't know, her eyes look a little bit odd there. I mean, Romeo looks as goofy as ever. But forever alone. Robot Farmer, Robo Bee, and Robo Grasshopper from Robotica Farms, which is what the semi-final level of Winter Tundra that we did. Glug and Lava Lizard from Skelos Badlands. Fire and Ice Wizards from their respective levels of the prehistoric areas. Shady Oasis Genie. So those were the genies. I guess I didn't get my wishes. And Shielded Arm Thief. Which actually looks like a pretty awesome shield, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm a sucker for sword and shields. I'm getting Pokemon Sword. Gear Grinder Robot, and Gear Grinder Thief. Which, considering that you can actually see the purple one design, they actually do look quite similar to the orange ones. And apparently, I did a little bit more digging. It was confirmed by Insomniac that it wasn't actually a precursor to Ratchet and Clank. It's just that the similarities just made everybody think that, and they honestly can't deny it because now that they see it, it's like it wasn't intended, but people see it as such. I guess we just got to accept it. So I don't know. Greta and Handle, they look a lot more better in the artwork. I will say that. I mean, they actually look a little bit more on point to what they used to look like, actually, just a little bit more reimagined. I'm guessing the models don't really do it justice, to be perfectly honest with you. Armored Space Cow, Sheep, UFO, Rocket Pig, and Manager Droid, all from Metropolis, so that's a thing. We will not talk about these. Gulp and Pterodactyl. I don't know why he's paired up with a Pterodactyl. You'd think it'd be paired up with Gulp or with Crush or Ripto, but apparently not. Instead, these two are paired, which, you know, I would actually see Gulp more paired with Ripto than anything else, considering the chemistry that those two characters had when Crush was just, you know, the heavy brute that you know, try to destroy the super portal instead of walking into it because he's a moron. And yeah, that's actually all 20 pictures. You unlock the first 10 by by completing the first page of skill points, and you unlock the last 11 by completing the second page of skill points. In the original Spyro 2, you would unlock half of the epilogue with one page and the other half of the epilogue with another, and you would just check it all at once. And yeah, our playtime is 8:58 right now. That's a long while. But we're still not done yet. We've still got trophies to earn. So what have we got left? Well, we've still got Oli Oli Oxen free and unburnt. So we're going to get Skillo's Badlands done first, and we're going to finish off with the Oxen. So let me just quickly run through Skillo's Badlands by warping with the book.
Through the Badlands.
And there we are at the end of the level already. I thought I'd just speed it up because, you know, you have to leave the level in order to get the trophy. Yes, I could have actually got that on the first visit by just, you know, quickly doing that again and then clipping it out. But as I've already said many a time, and I keep repeating myself because I just need to justify it, the trophies weren't in the original PS1 releases. They're a Reignited exclusive, which is why I wanted to save them for the bonus episode to highlight the fact that they're not part of the original experience, and I wanted to save them as such if I don't get them during the normal gameplay, because you wouldn't do it otherwise. Alright, we're back at this big boy, and guess what? All you have to do with the Super Flame to cheese this guy completely is that he doesn't fire bombs until you step on the ice, but that goes for his health as well. Here's the thing, if we hit him a couple of times with our Super Flame here, and then step on the ice, of course I'm going to flee immediately, his health didn't actually go down as you saw there. So what if we try to hit him again, but then when he actually gets hit, we come into the ice. His health drops humongously, but he still launches a bomb. Now here's the thing, if you think that leaving fills his health back up, nah, not really, because if you step on the ice again, it goes back down again. And you can see how much damage we've actually done. It doesn't actually register until he takes a hit while his HP is actually showing. But that means all we got to do is just camp here a little bit more, keep pummeling him a couple more times, and he's done.
Excellent work, Dragon. We can now defend our city properly. Take this visually pleasing reward.
With that, we have all trophies in the game, and all that we've already got, and the Platinum Trophy for doing it on the PS4. That is how you cheese this boss. The Super Flame makes it super easy. And that's the power of the Super Flame. As I said, it's easy mode, it's New Game Plus, and that's the joy behind it. Now, I was also going to show off, as I said before when we were going through this level before, if we can get to the end of the level without killing a single enemy, because then we might get some interesting dialogue from the person at the end who has the double power-up. Because it only requires one kill, apparently, because it requires at least one kill in order to activate. Problem is, the cow's lasers can kill the pigs, and the pigs can kill themselves, so it's extremely difficult to not aggro them to get through. I don't even know if it is even possible without cheating. So it may be, you know, just a fail-safe piece of dialogue that they have to record, just, you know, because that's a thing that can happen. But I've already tried twice off screen. I couldn't do it, so since I couldn't get to the end, I just came up here and I just did what I needed to do, pummel that guy. Even though I did hit him a couple of times, his energy didn't go down. Once we actually hit him, when his energy was on screen, it dropped and then everything was registering visibly. But everything was still registering even if we weren't just continuously hitting him before even entering the battle. It all still registers. And I think that's how it is treated in the original as well. So that's what makes that cheesed. So, I think what we're going to do is exit the Winter Tundra, and with the Platinum, which means we've got all achievements, as well as all 10,000 gems, all 64 orbs, 14 talismans, 10 tokens in Dragon Shores, the infinite Permanent Superflame that can work on a new game, as long as it's on the same, you know, account or memory card, what have you. We are done with Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage / Gateway to Glimmer, Reignited. So, while we're heading back to Dragon Shores, I'll give my final thoughts while our final totals actually appear on screen. So, yeah, that's the thing. I've already said everything that I had to do in the last episode. I don't actually have to do much reflecting here at this point. I mean, I know that the credits were once again humongously long, so my thoughts are all there. But this does mean that when we actually go to, you know, Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon, I mean, it's not Year of the Dragon, but it will be in 2024, funnily enough, because, you know, they didn't make the remake beforehand. I do want to say that, once again, this game in particular took way longer to get through than Spyro 1, but not in terms of just, you know, the project's length, but also the time, the in-game time that it took, because the levels are just got that much more to do, because they've all got more important missions than just, you know, grabbing a checkpoint, which is when you're collectibles, the dragons, or, you know, grabbing an egg every so often. But the gems you always collect regardless. In this particular game, yes, you have the talisman for completing the level, which is necessary, but you have multiple missions in a level. Well, the checkpoints are just checkpoints, and the multiple missions are your main collectible, if you want to call them that, which are the orbs. Still didn't get any, like, bonus stuff. We didn't go over 100%. It's just a clean 100%. It's the only one in the Spyro Trilogy that actually does that. Our main file actually says 73%, but I'm still treating it as 220% because that's what people called it on the original trilogy. You know, having all 3 games equal to 337% if you just say, you know, 120, 100, 117. That's not how adding percentages work, but, you know, that's what people always called it with doing like a trilogy speedrun. They called it 337, and that's what I'm calling it because that's what people know it as. I'm not calling the Reignited Trilogy as a 100% walkthrough, because even then, you know, you've still got the skill points in Spyro 1, and you've got the achievement / trophies on all 3 games, which that was all Toys for Bob's doing, nothing from the original Insomniac's design. But, you know, that's all I pretty much have to talk about, really. There are a few more cheat codes, I'll say that. There are more cheat codes, but they also work on Spyro 1. Most of them are still the same on Spyro 1, and I never mentioned them in Spyro 1 because this is the first time we had to actually talk about them because of the Superflame. But they also apply in Spyro 3, so we will leave it until after that when we're covering the whole trilogy as a whole, because there's still something about the controller itself, especially the PS4 DualShock, that I haven't talked about yet. But we'll get to that after Spyro 3. So, hope you look forward to that. For now, I'll see you guys next time for when we continue our romp through the Dragon Realms as our purple boy in Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon, Reignited. See you guys then.